Now I'm going to talk about Phil's two solo albums. The last time I made the video, I did not have Phil's second. Well, I do now. The next album I want to talk about is Solo in Soho. This is Phil's debut, and I recently got it last year. Well, technically 2 months ago, in November of 2015. I got it on vinyl as well. I just saw it for $3 and thought, where else am I going to find this? So, yeah. This is a good album. It's very mixed, which makes sense. It's a very mixed bag because musically, because I mean, it's a solo album. He doesn't need to sound like Ben Lizzy. Although the first song on here, "Dear Miss Lonely Hearts," is the closest you're gonna get to a Thin Lizzy song. But yeah, I like "Dear Miss Lonely Hearts," "King's Call," "Child's Lullaby." I do like "Dear Miss Lonely Hearts," "King's Call." "Tattoo's" good. Title track's good. "Ode to a Black Man." It's a good album. It's sort of reggae, uh, punk, hard rock mix, which I think is pretty cool. And there's some guest appearances here from Huey Lewis and Mark Knopfler. Alright, the next one I have here, Phil's last solo album was the Phillip Lynott album from 1982. I did not print out a front for this, nor do I have the tracking list in front of me. From what I can remember, I do like Old Town, Kathleen, which was about his second daughter. What else is on there? But I'll probably put an annotation of what songs I like from there. It's a very synthy album, which I thought I wouldn't like, but I do like it. There have been a couple of archival releases. From Thin Lizzy in the years after Phil's passing. I'm going to be sharing two of them here I have. The first is Still Dangerous, which is their concert at the Tower Theater in Philadelphia, which isn't too far from here, from where I live, New Jersey, from 1977. It's a 10-track album, which is one of the problems with this. It's good, but listening to Live and Dangerous in this, you can't really, they almost sound identical. Now with this show, this has been widely bootlegged for years, and it's known that the whole show was recorded. There's only 10 songs on here. Now, according to an interview I read that Scott Gorham gave to someone online, he said that some of the tapes didn't make the digital process. And the next archival release was a huge box set in 2011 with 7 discs, or 6 discs and 1 DVD. Or you could get the 2-disc version. I went the cheaper way and got the 2-disc version. This is Thin Lizzy at the BBC. All the times that they were, well, at the recorded at the BBC. There's an archival release from Thin Lizzy called the Peel Sessions, which is very hard to find on CD, and it sells for ridiculous prices. This has those songs on here. I'm not sure if it's all of them, but I think that some of them are on here. I mean, it says so in the booklet. Now this condenses the 6 CD set to 2 discs, and I really like it. I really think it's a great collection of songs, and I do enjoy listening to it, although I don't listen to it as much as I should, really. I just want to talk about the Black Star Rider albums. If you aren't aware of who they are, the Black Star Riders is the reunited version of Thin Lizzy from 2010 that Scott put together with a guy named Ricky Warwick. I saw them when they were still with the Thin Lizzy name, so that meant I got to see Scott, Brian Downey, Darren Wharton, and then a couple other guys, Vivian Campbell, Marco Mendoza, and Ricky Warwick. So they were going to record a new album, and then it came across to them the obvious fact that we're making a Thin Lizzy album without Phil. Because when Scott did it with John Sykes, that was one thing that they agreed on, or from what I read, that they were not going to record any new material under the Thin Lizzy name. So when I heard that they were doing it, I was very upset. But then I was pleasantly surprised when I heard that they weren't gonna do it. They were gonna change the name. So they changed it to Black Star Riders, which is not a bad name. At least it's not something, you know, like Jailbreak or The Boys Are Back in Town or named after one of their songs. But technically, of the guys in Black Star Riders, the only guy who was in Thin Lizzy with Phil was Scott. But still, the other guys in the group are very well versed in the Thin Lizzy catalog, and they're two great albums. Their two albums are from 2013, All Hell Breaks Loose, and then just last year, 2015, The Killer Instinct. Both great albums. If you don't have them, go check them out. Alright, now going to what I have here in terms of DVDs, or whatnot. If I can find them here. Yes, I can. Okay. Alright, going in some sort of order here. There are two in here that I do own that are not in here. The two I'm talking about are there's Thin Lizzy's Greatest Hits, which is a DVD of promotional videos, which is okay. And then the second one is called The Boys Are Back in Town, live in Sydney, Australia. Them playing at the Opera House, the Sydney Opera House. And Brian Downey is not with them. A guy named Mark Nossi is playing the drums. It's only a 40-minute DVD. It's pretty old for a DVD. I mean, they have an article on Thin Lizzy as a special feature. An article. I'm not kidding you. You have to read it there on the TV. They were expecting people to read it there on the TV screen, but you know, thanks to portable DVD players and laptops, you can read that article. But really, an article as a special feature on a DVD. Yeah, the problem with that one is that it's too short, which I don't have it in here. Or the other reason why I don't have the other one is because it's just promotional videos that you can look up on YouTube. But the ones I do have in here are pretty good. The one that came out first is Live and Dangerous. The Live and Dangerous movie, which is really not a movie, it's 51 minutes or so. It's them. I think it's them playing at the Rainbow, and it's from that Live and Dangerous era, the classic lineup playing, and it's a really good concert. Well worth checking out, well worth paying for. And also on here is a concert from 1983 from a program on the BBC called Sight and Sound, I think it was called. That's a good show as well. There's some other extra features on here, like interviews with the surviving members of the not the original lineup, but the classic lineup. So yeah, this is well worth getting, and it comes with a bonus CD, which is really an EP of another album that's out called Live at the Derby, 75. I have not gotten that one. The next one, this one came out in 2012, and this was very hard to get a correct version of, and be careful before you get it. Thin Lizzy at Live at the National Stadium in Dublin. This has three different. This DVD has three different things. Obviously, the concert at the National Stadium in Dublin, which goes on for about some 50 minutes to an hour. It's a good show. Other two things on here are a documentary called Renegade, the Phil Lynott story, which is 30 minutes more or less documentary about Phil that aired back in the day. It's a cool documentary. And then there's another feature about their last tour, their farewell tour with Thunder and Lightning, and about the crew setting up the stages and whatnot. It's kind of interesting, but it's also the weakest of the bunch, I think, because there's barely any Thin Lizzy in it. It's just the guys from the crew talking about how they set up the lights and whatnot. There's a couple other extra features on here, like performances on TV shows and whatnot, and Old Town promotional video on here. It's a good DVD. The only downside to it is that these videos, or all the features on here, were all filmed in 4:3 aspect ratio, which is used to be known as full screen. They take the full screen, or the 4:3, and they made it widescreen, meaning they cut off the top and the bottom just so they can make it widescreen, which is, it's not too distracting, but then again, I mean, really? Okay, and last but not least, I wanted to show off some shirts I have here of Thin Lizzy. This was the shirt that I got at the concert that I went to. This one's it's okay. It's a little bit ratty. The reason why I don't wear this anymore is because, yeah, I don't know if you can see that. There's holes in here, in the armpit sleeve, which got me upset because I really liked this because there was nothing about, I didn't want anything with the new group on it. I mean, no offense, I just wanted the Lizzy logo on here, and that's what I got. And now the shirt that I wear now for Thin Lizzy is this orange shirt here. It's a soft tee. That's what they call them. You know, like really soft and comfortable. And it's 1979. More than there's the tour dates there in the back. So yeah, that's about it. Hope y'all enjoyed watching this video. I know. Thanks a lot. And yeah, see y'all later.